سلام. امروز ساعت 4:56 جنوری 5 هست. This is 4:56 at January 5. I'm trying to say this in English. One of the assignments that we were given as a part of the speech therapy, which I didn't choose that, but that assignment was what is the scariest experience you have had? And somebody, there is a lawyer in our group, lady lawyer, who had a stroke 5 years ago, and she said her scariest event was when he was on a Ferris wheel and it started raining and she was on the top and the thing stopped, and it took them a while to figure out what's the problem, and she was finally out. That actually reminded me of a experience during skiing. I was one of the early times, maybe the very first time that I was skiing, and I was just learning how to ski from John, my brother-in-law. It was to wedge, and wedge means triangle shape on the skis and go down on a wedge. He was teaching me how to do that. And the scariest thing is I took the wrong wheelchair and I went on the top of the Black Diamond mountain, and this was in Heavenly, and I had to wedge my way down, which I in the beginning I started wedging down until I started seeing moguls. Moguls are a small hills on the way down, and if you are wedging, you basically should go around this mogul, but I didn't know how to control, and I was bumping down as I was going down the slope. And the scariest part is when I hit the narrow path, and the path was as if it was turning around and going over the hills, small hills and moguls. I had no control over my skiing. I didn't, I don't know how, I was airborne and I was stopped by a tree, face down the tree. I hit the tree. I'm glad I was wearing goggles and ski clothes, but it was hard. I honestly can say that I saw bears. My head was turning as I was trying to recover from the impact. But the idea is the scariest part is when you know it's gonna happen and it will happen. After that, I was a daredevil. Most people after this experience stop skiing, but I said, well, what the heck? I have done the worst that can happen. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I skied my way several times down the hills. The experience somehow it's unique because the scare, the scare factor was gone after I had hit the worst condition. The question I have, what is the scariest thing you believe that can happen to you? You know, I am normally right-handed, but now my right hand doesn't function. My right foot doesn't function. My muscles of mouth is very hard to function. And I was worship leader. I was playing accordion. I was playing keyboard and piano. Obviously, teaching. I was teaching at the university level. I was basically writing my lectures and with my right hand. I would go by the blackboard and I would write from the top to the bottom. By the time I was finished, the whole blackboard was full of the notes. None of that is going on anymore. Or at least it's not possible at this time anymore. What is your scare? What is your horrible nightmare that can happen? I can attest to you, it is not as bad as you think. It happened to me. And I can testify that not only it didn't discourage me, it created new challenges and new ways for me to overcome them. You know, I have learned how to play with a small keyboard and also large keyboards on even my left hand. I have learned the features that can accompany my playing. I have learned how to write with my left hand. Some people say this is going to cause you not to lose your right side because you gradually learn to compensate with your left hand. But maybe that's true. But I tell you, the scare is gone. Not only this incident they could not stop me, but it's created new challenges that I can overcome. And I'm no superhero. I attest to that. Just I was one of the lucky ones to experience the nightmare, and I see that it's not a nightmare anymore. So, what is your challenge?